Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. The Indiana Jones Minute.
So, should I just stop eating and we start?
Yeah, fold your hands.
Okay.
Take care, comb your hair. Welcome to Anything Goes. We say that, right? We say welcome to Anything Goes. We say, hey, this is the bonus show for our beautiful patrons. We say this is also going out as a bonus to everybody because we're all still huddled in our little, hobby hole caves, and we need entertainment. We need togetherness, and we need the sense you get with your friends' voices coming into your ears that everything's just going to be okay. That's why we're here.
Just okay.
I mean, great. How great? How about the Indiana Jones Minute guys talking Star Wars great? How's that?
What?
Son of a gun.
Talk about working outside the law.
I would like to say we got permission from Mr. the Retailer and Mr. Robinson themselves.
Yeah, we sent one of Jerry's toes to them in the mail, and that was enough. They accepted.
That's enough
it.
for anybody.
I got the message.
Said, please stop sending toes. Just do Star Wars. Who cares? My God. Oh, they were very nice.
Yeah.
And
our good friends at the Star Wars Minute who started this whole podcast idea.
Yeah, for God's sake. I mean, let's hope we have something new to say. I bet we do.
We'll see.
I mean, they nailed it, but we'll nail it in our way, for God's sake.
That's a lot of pressure, Tom.
I know, but we can handle it. We're up to it. I'm not scared. I am.
I wasn't until that.
Nah.
Yeah.
We've been talking Star Wars since 1977. We're going to be fine. But before we get into that, we want to thank all you beautiful people who support the show, who are going above and beyond supporting us during these crazy times. Beautiful people like...
Well, before we should mention that we've been donating all the proceeds of our show.
Yeah, according to Jerry and Pete, we have been, as far as I know.
So they're supporting. They're supporting us. Supporting.
That's right.
Yes, and Pete, the name of the place that you're taking all our money and sending it to.
Well, Tom said it last time, but I guess we didn't settle on one this time. But I kind of liked the idea we had said it to Chef Andres with One World Kitchen. He's done a lot with feeding people during the pandemic.
Oh, nice.
Well,
last time we did it to Feed America.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they were very appreciative. They loved that. And,
and then,
whatever you say.
Like a week after we did that, the Parks and Rec did their reunion show, and they said all the proceeds were going to Feeding America. And I'd like to say, I'd like to think that we inspired them.
Yeah. I'm sure Amy Poehler is a listener.
Yeah.
And she said, those guys, God bless them. Their hearts are bigger than mine. I got to do something about that.
I don't know if bless was that word, but
yeah. Sons of bitches. But we want to thank all you beautiful sons of bitches. Sons of bitches like Mr. Fred Star Wars, more like Star Won't.
Hey.
Sheesh.
No, now it's like Star Will.
Yeah, Star soon. Star give us a minute.
About 20 minutes, yeah.
We also want to thank we want to thank 2-1 Beckett.
Yeah.
Thank you, 2-1 Beckett. And we want to thank a long time ago in a lockdown far, far away. The lockdown is all around us.
Yeah. It's not that so far away.
And we also want to thank Andrew with 2 A's and Jalad in isolation at Tanagra. So there.
That's good.
I've already explained that. I'm not going to explain it. I sent you guys a clip of Jean-Luc Picard telling the Gilgamesh story to the dying alien Paul Winfield, and I'm sure you guys didn't watch it.
But I want to.
No, I didn't watch it.
I'm trying so hard. I'm doing what I can to educate you guys. We also want to thank Airport asks, are you all going to appear on Andromeda Minute now that Tom's taken the buttocks episode? It's true. I said I mistakenly said a couple weeks ago that I was going to be on because I forgot how long the movie is, but I'm going to be on. I think now, honest and true, I think that after you hear this, the week after, I will be on the show talking about buttocks.
And I think I may get the week after yours because I get the breast episode.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh,
Wow.
wait. Then maybe you're before
What?
me. Maybe
Oh,
I'm not
maybe I
on. Maybe
am.
you're on this week and I'm on next week.
Oh,
Oh, weird.
maybe.
You got the
Yeah.
breasts, the lingering,
yeah.
the
dead
long, slow
yeah,
pan.
breast of the dead. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
not if you just think
I
it's a
want to
still
be on
picture.
this show. I want to give me
There's a
some
lot of-
products.
Let's
There's
get
a lot of
blood not clotting in buttocks.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in
That's
that
cool.
movie for a rated G.
Yeah, rated G doesn't mean what it used to mean.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. We also want to thank, Bo Burt cut his own hair. It didn't turn out so well. Sound the alarm. Speaking of, I did that very thing this morning. I cut my own hair this
Oh.
morning.
Did
How'd it
you
I
work?
decided
really?
I'd had it. Yeah, I was in full Greg Brady mode. And I'm like, this will not stand. It's getting hot and humid.
Mm.
And I cut my hair, and I don't think I did too terrible of a job.
Oh, nice.
I have no idea what the back looks like, but I assume it's awesome.
That's incredible.
I assume I nailed it.
It doesn't get hot nor humid here, but I think I'm about the point where I'm going to cut my own too.
Oh, yeah? You should take a picture first,
Yeah.
before and after. We also want to thank Brady and Brent from the Five-Sided Funny Farm. Oh, I get it.
I do too. I love it. I get it.
What's that?
That's great.
from?
Oh, Peter.
It's a
will tell
large
you when the-
building.
Yeah.
It is a five-sided building.
Ah,
It's
I
a
get it.
geometric shape.
Now I get it.
Okay. We also want to thank Brian and Carson and Chewy has a bear with a marketplace. Mala is the singer in a band. They're all wearing masks and they're all performing at a safe distance.
Does that mean we get
Uh,
to do the holiday special after we finish Star Wars?
Oh my God. Yeah, maybe. Is it like the bonus episode to our bonus episodes? This will be the holiday special. I would.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. We also want to thank Chris, Go Indiana Jones Minute, favorite 1990s movie. He's running out of decades.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm running out of movies.
Yeah.
Oh, you know
Boy,
what? I might have an answer for this.
Oh,
I haven't thought about this for more than 5 seconds, but I feel very good about my answer. And I'm almost, I'm pretty sure it's from the 90s. Rushmore.
Hmm.
Rushmore,
Oh, you love
without
that
thinking hard
movie,
about
yeah.
it, it is the best movie of the 90s.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really did love that movie.
That's the one. I like all Wes Anderson stuff, but I mean, they're all sort of pale imitations of Rushmore. Yeah. It spoke to me. Either of you
Wow,
guys,
I-
90s? You can do a
you know
quick
what?
search if you need to.
I
Was
did. I
Casino
did
in
a
the
quick
90s?
search.
Casino was in the 90s, yeah.
maybe Casino.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Goodfellas,
Pretty
for that
Woman
matter.
was from 1990. I always think of that as the 80s.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That's on the cusp.
Phantom Menace was
I-
90s, Jared. There you go.
There you go,
Oh,
Jerry.
You know what?
Came out on your
Pulp
birthday.
Fiction came out. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd say that's my favorite movie, but I did see it 4 or 5 times in the theater. And it was the first movie I probably since, I don't know, Empire Strikes Back that I had seen like more than twice.
Yeah.
So I don't know about my favorite, but it's definitely a one that sticks out and one that I really enjoyed. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I feel good.
It was a lot better
Thank you,
than
Chris.
Twister.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I got in a
like
fight with Joe
Twister.
Spaley about that once. Oh, you and
we
Joe
did. We
Spaley
got
have
into
a great
fight,
time
yeah.
talking about Twister.
Yeah.
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 We also want to thank Klaus and COVID-19, center of the quarantine system. Quarantine's not a system; he's a condition. We also want to thank Cubs fan and Dan and Dark on Netflix season 3 this June.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
our friend Dave. He's a big
Huh.
fan of Dark. He keeps trying to get me to watch it, and I keep adding it to the list, but I keep not watching
What is Dark?
it. It is a program on Netflix.
Does the third season come out in June?
No, it's I think it's like a German, like kind of supernatural mystery series.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Checks a few of
Goes
my.
right next
boxes?
to the Star Trek Epic of Gilgamesh.
No, I will actually watch it though.
All
It's
right.
on my list. Yeah.
Cool. Then I don't have to. We also want to thank Dave and Death Star. We're gonna die, right now. We also want to thank Guy wearing headphones and Doris and Doug and Eric And we got one of our we got Febo with a Star Wars minute, Indiana Jones minute question or comment or thing. Films that are better than the book.
Oh.
That's good.
Is it cheating if I haven't read the book, but I can just tell that it's... I've been listening to Godfather Minute, and they often will like read passages from the book just to show like what's different from the movie and the book. And I can just tell that the movie is a lot more interesting and a lot classier and a lot less grubby or something.
That's a
than the
good guess.
book.
I bet that's going to be their answer too.
Yeah. At least one of them.
Yeah. Mine's going to enrage you, Tom, but
Uh-oh.
The Swimmer.
That's
You
funny.
just watched the movie, right?
I did. I finally watched the movie, and I did like it. I know I came out
and I
saying
liked
like,
the
I was
story.
disappointed.
Yeah, I enjoyed the short story, but it wasn't, it didn't move me a lot. But the movie I thought was gorgeous.
Okay.
And I think you had the
Good.
opposite feeling.
I kind of, I mean, I do. I'm on the side of the story, but they're both cool. You can't argue.
Airplane.
All right.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I mean,
Oh, can I give you one, Jerry?
yes,
A really
please.
good one.
Give me a good
Jaws.
one. I was going to say Jaws, probably as
All
an
right.
example. We talked a little bit about. I did not read the book, but and the book
Right.
may have even
I
been
did.
good. Yeah. Did you not like it?
I mean, the parts I remember, I just remember being like, oh boy, really? That was in a book, a Jaws book? I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We also want to thank Heavens to Murgatroyd. The cage door is open, ajar even.
You were so good at those, Tom.
I know. It's really good.
I watched cartoons. Murgatroyd. I don't think I've ever seen the word Murgatroyd.
Yeah,
typed out.
Murgatroyd. Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Yeah, is that a name? Is that like a woman's name?
I don't know.
Murgatroyd.
That sounds exactly. Is that's the little alien from the Flintstones?
The Great Kazoo.
Cause yeah.
Hello, Dum Dum.
It's
I always
a
thought it was more
surname
like.
from the Old English aristocracy.
Oh wow.
The first use of the name is Johannes de Murgatroyd, a constable in Yorkshire in 1371.
Wow.
Heavens to Murgatroyd. I don't even know what he's talking about. The cage door is open. It's ajar even. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and go, oh, okay.
I know.
But that was fun. We also want to thank Hillary and Indy 5, Indiana Jones, and the Trident of Achilos. It's probably true. It's probably what
I'd
it's
say
gonna be.
Oculos, but
Yeah, you studied
Oculus.
Greek, right?
yeah.
Yeah. You should read these, Pete.
But it's also been like 60 years since I did it, so.
You could be as wrong as I am. We also want to thank it's Jonathan
Hey.
and Jasmine and Jay from the LAMB and Jeff and Jeffrey and Jeremy and John and Joshua and Exorable Tash and Justin and Ken and Kingdom of the Crystal Scroll and Lando Enchantment and Lori and Marion the Jedi Archive Librarian and Mark and Matt and Matthew and me Golden Skidoo.
Woohoo!
Way to go, Jerry.
I am. Not yet. Still saving
Michael.
them pennies.
I want to thank Michael and Mom to Remy and Drew and Natalie and Natsuki Best Doki. And Neil asks, which is your favorite Rockwell painting?
Ooh.
Wow.
Wow. Huh, the singer?
Yeah. There's only one, isn't there? I always feel like...
I'm
That's
gonna
gonna be stuck in
go. I'm
my
gonna
head now.
go a little cliche, but I think my favorite is his self-portrait, where he's like wearing those giant glasses, but he's painting himself with the pipe.
That's really good. That's one
Yeah.
that you would just look at for a long time as a kid and be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, wait, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like
Yeah.
an Escher painting or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. That's really good. Oh, you know what? There was the one my friend had, like his mom or somebody had like up in the kitchen. They had the, it's just like a series of heads. I think it's called The Gossips or something.
Mm.
And it's just a series of heads. Like the one lady's talking to the one lady, and then that lady's talking to the next lady. And then like, of course it ends up with like the original woman's husband yelling at her, like at the very bottom. But it's like this big long line of like 30 people.
Nice.
Just like
oh
passing
yeah, I
the
just looked
story
it up.
along.
That's funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there it is. I see it. You know, I'm gonna go with the same, the portrait of the guy painting him. You know, the self portrait.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at all the, Norman Rockwell, like he's got a style and he really captures a vibe, and I never like the scene that I'm in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it's always like at a doctor's office, and there's a little kid who just got like a shot in the fanny or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everybody is like everyone has rosacea, and
Yeah.
like
There's a Studebaker with a dog with one leg and a cat in his teeth and a.
there's just I don't or just like I don't know it's I don't I mean there's I'm catapulted to exactly that scene, which is beautiful. It's just I never like where it puts me.
You
I
wouldn't
hear
want to
that.
live in the 40s or the 30s.
Or
You wouldn't want to be there.
At least
Yeah,
not in that
just-
version.
Not in that
Right.
version. Like I'm looking like there's one where they're at the barber shop and the barber is like, looking away and yelling. There's something
Yeah.
about it that's unsettling.
Yeah. Oh, they probably have an ice box when they get home. It's like not even a freezer, like connected to the fridge. Oh, I probably have to like call the operator to make a phone call. Oh my god.
There's
Forget
always
it.
there's just something that he captures it. It's like something's about to happen or something just
Yeah.
did happen. It's spectacular, but it doesn't mean that I enjoy it.
Mhm.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on, we want to thank Nicholas and none but unbelievable. And oh boy, it's Trinko. That's mine. We also want to thank Orange B. Cooper and Patrick and Pele and Runebot Techno Union rep back from WCB.
Hey, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Awesome. Yes.
Wait, what's
What's,
WCB though?
Yeah.
Water
World Championship of
Yeah.
Bots.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Oh, World Championship of Bots. That must be it.
There you go.
He's the Techno Union rep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome back. I hope you did well at the World Championship. We also want to thank Sasha and Scott Roseanne. Hey, Scott Roseanne. And Sean and Steve and Stina and Sully Baseball. And we got a few more Star Wars Minute, Indiana Jones Minute questions. What is your greatest fear in real life if you were in a movie? Oh, so okay. What is your
Wow.
greatest fear? Like both your actual greatest fear
Oh, it's two different
and
ones.
what your greatest fear would be in a movie. Oh,
Ugh.
weird. Weird.
Well, I get the first one. What's my greatest fear in real life? But in a movie. Oh, you mean like
Yeah,
I'm
like-
watching the movie and what am I afraid of?
Oh, maybe. Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it says if you were in a movie. That's a weird one, but I want to
Yeah.
answer it.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll answer for Star Wars Minute first.
Okay.
I think Pete's greatest fear would be not having a hat.
Yeah.
I don't know what Alex's would be actually.
I don't either. Fear of a Black Planet. No, wait, that's Public Enemy. I'm trying to think of like if you were in a movie, like does that mean
Am I
like
doing
if
this
I was
right?
gonna?
By the way, are we supposed to answer for them? Like, is it like the
I
Newlywed
feel like that
Game?
was on the table, but then they said like no, it'll just be like if we match, we match.
okay.
yeah.
And
Okay.
Good.
I think we're just answering for ourselves, really.
Oh, okay, good. Well,
Um,
and Pete posted a picture on Twitter of his actual hair recently, which I don't know if anyone had seen, and it actually looked very cool.
Is it like a big rainbow wig?
It was shaped like a hat.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
No wonder he's so afraid. I don't know my greatest fear. Well, yeah, Jerry, you're going to say something.
My greatest fear is going to prison.
That's a good one. That's a really
Yeah.
good
I
one.
think. Yeah.
It is.
Because you're
I don't-
falsely accused, like you're
I don't know.
railroaded. You're.
Well, I
man,
hope that
you're
would
an
be the
innocent
case. I mean, of the other, I don't know how to answer. I hope that would be the
Man. I mean,
case.
but
Although
for
that
some
would
people,
suck.
some people say that they're like, "Oh my, like just the system breaks down, and
Yeah.
I haven't done anything wrong, and I'm the wrong man, and I'm sent to prison,
Yeah.
and
Right.
executed
Right.
or something." Yeah,
Yeah. Or just I don't know. Like something,
Actually,
I don't know. That's why it's a fear. I mean, it's
Yeah.
maybe it borders on phobia in the sense that
Yeah.
like, it's phobias are sort of unexplained. I mean, I don't plan on doing anything that would land me in prison, but I don't plan on a lot of things
Yeah.
that has happened.
Yeah.
Jerry's heard a lot about mine over the years, and I think Tom has as well. I always fear something bad's going to happen to my cats.
Oh, sure.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, something horrible happening to a loved one. That's,
Yeah.
that's uninteresting and
Or like
basic, but valid. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
If Pete, if you went to prison and then, or maybe if you and Amy went to prison, then what would happen to your cat?
Oh yeah.
There you
oh
go.
God.
Just pile it
that
on.
is- yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to
right
make sure
there.
you stay out of prison.
That'd be a pretty good movie though.
That would.
Like you'd have to break into my house to take care of the cats, and then you'd go to prison, and then like Tom would have to come break in,
No,
and then you'd
you-
go to prison, and yeah.
You don't understand.
I think I have an actual answer for this, for the greatest fear in real life, like an
Okay.
actual visceral fear. Tapeworms.
Oh,
The idea of
Yeah.
having a tapeworm and discovering that I have a tapeworm and then having to get rid of the tapeworm out of one end or the other. That just gives me the
do they
Blessed
still do all that
willies.
crazy stuff? I mean, can't they just give you a pill these days?
maybe, I don't know. Not according to the books that my son reads and makes me read.
Oh, right,
and
right.
Sharing all this nightmare horror of life stuff with me.
Sure. Well, and
Oh,
Pete,
holy
you
cow.
eat. Yeah, I mean, up until maybe the pandemic, you ate sushi daily. So if anybody's gonna get a tapeworm, and I think that would be you.
Are they caused by eating?
I don't know if they
No.
are. No.
Stop freaking him out,
I'm
Jerry.
just
He's trying to
gonna
enjoy
freak
his
him out.
sushi.
I've already
You do,
living
you
all
get-
my
you
greatest
get- you
fears
get
at once.
wormed. Yeah, I can't remember. They might be.
We just heard Pete's neck snap.
I
Wait,
know.
sushi? You can get tapeworms from sushi?
Although I like this is kind of like that scene we always talk about where the guy's getting he wakes up and he's like didn't do his homework or didn't go to do his final, and then he wakes up from that and he's just getting beaten up by the Nazis, and he's like, oh good, it was just a dream.
Right.
Like now I
Top
see you
secret.
waking up. Yeah, top secret. I see you
Yeah.
waking up, Tom, like in jail, and you're like, oh, it was just a dream about the tapeworm.
Right. Yeah, and then my roommate or my bunkmate starts talking to me. I can't get away. Like,
Nice
oh,
to meet you,
God.
Ben.
Yeah. So what's on your mind? I can't think of one for a movie though, and I feel bad. So maybe that'll still be around next week. We'll see.
So that I'm always afraid you're gonna see something that's just really disgusting or something like that.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
zombies. Zombies are scary. Slow zombies are scary. They keep coming. And they never stop. I used to have
You know,
nightmares like that.
They didn't give me.
You could easily run away from them, but they would never ever stop.
Maybe running into the clown again from Poltergeist,
Oh, sure.
Mm.
either in the movie or in real life.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be rough.
that's a good question.
That is good. Okay, how about this one? We got another one from somebody named Father David. What does it mean to be human? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go right with Kurt Vonnegut. Was it Kurt Vonnegut or Kilgore Trout? We are only as human as our ideas are humane.
Oh, that's
Is that what he
Oh.
said?
Nah,
Yeah,
that's
I'll just
good.
go with that 'cause
Yeah.
that's a tough
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Boy,
be
I
nice.
feel like someone just got off of a 3-month retreat.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had like 7 questions about like Goonies and Back to the Future. And how about what does it mean to be human?
Yeah. Yeah. Boy. I almost have to like dig back to like my Christian manhood class in like my
Right.
junior year in high school. I
Right.
know that there was a definition. It was one of those guys like Martin Buber, or I couldn't get past his name.
Baby.
Yeah, I know that there's an answer somewhere, and I have it in a notebook somewhere, probably 2 rooms over next to the tapeworms. I'm trying to. I would say in there is going to be a consciousness. There's
Mhm.
going to be in
Mhm.
there. I know I'm throwing that in the pot, and I'm going to fry it, and then I'm going to have to add something else later. I'm not sure what though. Pete, maybe you can throw in an ingredient.
Well, see, I was thinking. So I love Jerry Porter and Tom Taylor dearly, two of my
But
closest friends.
oh,
But I think what it is to be human is when Tom belches or Jerry eats on microphone. Like I literally want to see a safe fall on them.
yeah.
So,
So wait, we're being human, or you're being human in your hatred
I'm being
of us?
that makes
wanting
me
to
human,
annihilate
even though
us?
I love you guys.
Okay.
I sort of want to see you die.
Oh, fair enough.
Very painfully.
Probably going to happen sooner or later.
Very, very painfully, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, somewhere in there is probably maybe to to experience suffering. I don't know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be. It also could be to experience bliss. Ah, darn it, Father
Right.
David.
Okay, wait. I got another Vonnegut for this.
Okay.
In Breakfast of Champions, Kilgore Trout writes the book, and Now It Can Be Told, where the
Mhm.
reader finds out that he's the only actual human being in the world with consciousness and everything. Everybody else is just a robot testing him, created by the creator of the universe. And I think I might be mixing these up, but the tombstone for this person after he dies says, "Not even the creator of the universe knew what he was going to do next."
That's good.
So that might be the definition of being human.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You
I
got your
like
free
yours too.
will, you got your creativity,
Yeah.
something.
I liked yours too, Jerry. Yours was very, very Buddhist. The idea of suffering. All is
Yeah.
suffering. Unsatisfactory.
You know what? But that sucks.
No, it does.
I mean, it shouldn't be. That's got to be just. But maybe I need to expand it out. To feel or be self.
Sure.
I don't know. Self-aware. I guess that's
Feeling
one of the
suffering
consciousness things.
and enjoyment. The whole
Yeah.
the spectrum. And the finding the balance and the totality and the thing and stuff.
Well, somewhere in there, I'd say, is somewhere in there is a connectivity or a connection with
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
world. But then I have a question for Father David. I'd be like, okay, so what was up with all those aesthetics who went out into the desert and
Mhm.
they, weren't, they're trying to sever the connection with society and they lived a monastic life. Did they become any less human by doing that?
Mhm.
And
That's a
he's
good question.
he's gonna. I mean, in those instances, I think those guys went to have like a full communion or relationship with
Mhm.
God,
Mhm.
except that they're completely eschewing all that's around them on Earth completely. So there.
See, that strikes me as maybe missing the point or something. I don't know the
Yeah.
full story there, but I feel like that you're kind of cutting off your nose to spite your face or
Well,
something.
what about Spider-Man? Is Spider-Man human?
He's more human than human, just like the Terrell Corporation wants to achieve. Yeah, no, he is. He is human because, as we were saying elsewhere on another part of the internet, he has a gift that he uses for the betterment of others, and he's also very
But
selfless.
so
even
does
though it
Superman,
kills
but
him.
he's not human.
That is true. Well, isn't he human, Pete? Isn't he?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm still a little surprised you didn't throw the Kirk thing in here, the Captain Kirk thing in here.
I was just thinking of that. He insults Spock
Yeah,
on more than
Spock.
one occasion, being like, "Hey, you know
Yeah.
what? We're all human." Spock's
Or
like,
of all
back off.
of all the people, you're the
Yeah.
most human.
Racist.
You don't kick a
jerk.
man when he's dead, or
Right.
a Vulcan. when
Finally
he's
get to
dead.
call you human, you dead Vulcan. And what people should know, like, when the three of us are not recording podcasts and stuff, we're debating the Bible. And just the other day, we were saying, son of a gun, if people just listened to exactly what Jesus said, everybody would be nice. Everybody would be great. It'd be a great world.
Well, the problem with that, though, is he was, now I'm going to have to arm wrestle Father David or whatever and call it some council of Gableza or whatever. Is that he's 100% human, but 100% divine. And you go, that's cheating. That's cheating.
Yeah, but I sort of feel like, I don't know, what connection do I want to make? Who is the I don't know. I was going to make some nerdy comic book reference, but now I can't think what. I feel like if you offer Jesus like the chance to hey, would you give up your divinity just to be like human and be a nice guy and help people out? I bet he would go
You're
for
just
that.
thinking of Wings of Desire now.
I am thinking of Wings of Desire. Thank you. I mean, think of Wings of Desire or Watchmen, where Ozymandias gives up all his wealth so he can build it back up again.
Hmm.
Well, but
I don't know.
I mean, but in the case of Jesus, like, all right, so he's 100% human. But they're like, but you're 100% divine. And you're like, but because of that divine part, he knows his whole story. And he knows he has to come down and he's going to live his 33 years. And then he's going to have one really bad long weekend.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Well, okay, but if you take out of it, we're never going to get to our main show. But if you take out of it the idea that he is at all divine, or that there is even a God or anything, that whole story still works. And it's
Yes.
still awesome, and he's still a great guy.
No, sure.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is you go, he doesn't have to have faith because he's divine, so he knows.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Even if
Yeah.
he's convinced that he is, so
But I mean,
Okay.
if you're 100, if you are actually God and you know how the story is going to go, and you're like, nah, I don't want to go through all this, but I know there's a good ending.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Right.
very, very different of only being human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only. You don't have that whole divine, like, cheat sheet. You know what I mean? You have all the Scantron answers.
But then what about going back to what you said earlier, Jerry? Like, what about the Buddha? If all life is suffering and then he reaches enlightenment and transcendence and he no longer suffers, does that mean he's no longer human? Oh, that's like a Zen koan right there.
Yeah.
Jerry just stopped dead in his tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pete's mic is on
I
a stand, so he can't drop it, but I think
Jerry
he dropped it.
Jerry just awoke.
I was I was thinking about that, but then if the entire point of being on Earth in this life is to transcend being human,
Mhm. Then why start being human?
I'm
You're
just sucking
messing
my
with us,
thumb.
Father David.
I know.
Next time, just who would win between Batman and Superman?
Yeah, how do you pronounce Princess Leia? Come on.
AT-AT or AT-AT?
Like he and like 5 other priests are sitting there right now just cracking up. Oh my God, these guys.
Can Palpatine create
What
a
a-
Sith so
what a
powerful
bunch
he
of
can't
losers.
destroy it? All right. Moving along, now that we're exhausted and enlightened. Who are you rooting for in KBO, or what do you think KBO means? Now, we cheated and had Pete
Yes.
answer for us last time, and I still don't
I'm
have an
still-
answer because I still haven't followed, what is it, Korean?
Korean baseball
Baseball?
organization. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm still enjoying the fact that you both saw me as a big kickboxing fan.
We're grasping at straws, Pete.
Well, I have to say, I actually, I'm a big fan of the Doosan Bears.
Wow.
really? Wait a minute. You're cheating. I can tell. You wrote that on your hand.
I'm part divine.
Oh, look at this. We got one more of these. Star
Okay.
Wars Minute, Indiana Jones Minute. Darth Patreonus asks, I'm going to say this is Star Wars or Star Trek character needed a rewrite the most?
Hmm.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that is. So either Star Wars.
Oh, I have an excellent answer
Does
too.
J.J.
but
Abrams count?
Oh, he's not a
Was that
Star.
your-
He's not a Star Trek
Well, we
character
talking
or a
about-
Star Wars character.
Are we talking about Star Wars, just the original 1977 Star Wars?
I don't
that-
know. It just, I mean, it says STSW, so I could even be completely misreading those. But I'm going to say that's Star Trek and Star Wars, and I'm going to say that they are the franchises.
Oh, that's
Of Star Trek and
that's a
Star
no
Wars.
brainer. At Boba Fett.
Wait, what do you mean? Why? Well,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, explain.
Why?
Well,
Which-
are you saying
which
like you
Boba
would just
Fett?
like stop writing about him after The Empire Strikes Back?
Well, I'm just like, or just he needs a rewrite. Well, obviously,
In
it's
Empire
gonna
Strikes
be,
Back?
No. I'm thinking like over the entire scope of all the
Okay.
Star Wars movies,
Uh-huh.
Boba Fett.
Okay.
I would say Boba Fett, or whatever you want to call him, Boba Fett's family. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, fine.
think-
I mean,
yeah.
other than also Greedo too, duh. But if
Well,
you
see,
just
I don't, these are guys who were rewritten,
Yeah.
and that's what ruined it.
Yeah.
no,
need to
fair.
what you're
Well,
saying.
yeah. Well, no, I need to pick. Am I looking at the entire canon
you
of
are.
work?
Yeah.
Okay, or am I just looking at the one? Like, if I'm only looking at Star Wars, then the person who I don't know, the person who needs a rewrite would be. Actually, I do have an answer. I do
Okay.
have an answer. There's one thing. There's one thing that really creeps me out in that movie Star Wars from 1977, and it's that one. Like, it's like a kind of ventriloquist dummy droid in the Sandcrawler. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that guy. Let's get that thing the hell out. That's the one thing I see
man.
that I'm like, oh my
That's
god,
one of
what the hell
my
is
favorite
that?
things. Oh man,
It's just creepy.
I love that.
I
guy.
would just cut that shot. It's like it doesn't even move. It's just up against the wall, and it's
He
like
kind of rocks back and forth a little
He
bit.
does. 'cause he's
yeah, super creepy.
drunk.
That's the only rewrite I do from the actually the movie Star Wars. I'd get that
Okay.
guy the hell out. But in terms of the entire thing, I mean, I don't know. It's like, yeah, it's just a bowl of spaghetti. I don't know. You take your pick. You know.
What about you, Pete?
I'm gonna say Cammy.
Oh, nice.
Who?
Just because
Yeah.
Cammy.
Who?
She
Oh,
was
Jerry, you don't know
deleted from
Star
the
Wars.
she was deleted from the movie, and I think the movie is greatly lacking because it is lacking a lot of female representation or anybody who's not a white middle-aged man. But I feel
Yeah.
like she would have added a little something if she were still in the movie.
That's not a bad one. I like that. We all would have liked Cammy.
Hmm.
I have a great answer, I think.
Okay.
But it's not from Star Wars. I think the idea of the character of Wesley Crusher could have been great.
You know what's funny?
The idea.
I was
Wait,
going to say
what?
Wesley Crusher, but I
Were you
forgot.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's horrible.
He's horrible. He's such a disappointing, annoying character. But if you pitch like, oh, there's this kid, like
Yeah.
this kind of nerdy, smart kid on the Enterprise who, like, against whatever odds, gets to like be on the Enterprise and is eventually part of the bridge crew and everything. And like, I picture, like me or one of my buddies or something, like Brandon Yates would be on the Enterprise, and that would be Wesley Crusher. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
He could be great.
Yeah.
I don't know how they would do that. I can imagine. It's hard to imagine like the 80s or the 90s TV pulling that off.
Yeah,
right? But
that's true.
if they did, it would be great.
But yeah, our buddy Neil Christopher Marcus Brown has been rewatching all of the Next Generation, and every time he posts about Wesley, I'm just like, oh god, I just cringe.
It's too bad.
Wow.
Oh well, next time.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for those, everybody. We got some
Yeah.
more people to thank, but thank you for your Star Wars Minute, Indiana Jones Minute questions. We'll see what those guys. I think they are due to do their next roll call the same weekend this drops,
Oh, nice.
so we can compare live. We also want to thank Tears for Veers. Oh, I should say I thought of the song that I liked better. Now I forgot it though. By Tears for Fears. God bless it. What was it? I texted it to you guys.
Yeah, you did, and I forget it.
Head over
forgot.
heels.
That was a head over
yeah.
heels. I don't like
And you
that
guys made
one.
fun of me.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. Let's get in a big fight about it. We also want to thank the Carlisles
Mhm.
and the Wilder Ride and the Sack News and Tim and Timmy Bricks and Tom and Vibrant Visionaries with Heidi Bennett and Wendy and What's Better Than a Talking Dog, a Spelling Bee.
Who's
Pretty
that?
good. That's
Yeah.
our buddy Sean German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you
And
never write with adult?
Zaction.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that, Pete?
I was going to ask Sean why you never write with a dull pencil. It's pointless.
Ah,
Oh
stop
my
it.
gosh. This-
Well,
He started it.
Yeah, what's it mean to be human?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Why
just
does
a
it mean to-
shame
Why does it
when you
mean
say
to be
something.
human?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, one and all. This went a lot longer than we thought it would, but now you get to listen even more longer because we're going to start talking about a little science fiction movie from 1977 by the name of The Star Wars. And I think you're going to like it. It's exciting. It's got robots. It's got a nerdy farm boy. Does not have Cammy, but it's got other cool stuff going for it. You're going to like it.
So, just out of curiosity, guys, what's your very first memory of seeing Star Wars?
Oh, you know what's awesome? I barely remember. I don't have any actual memories of. Well, that's not true. We can get to it much later, but I do. There's like one moment that I remember seeing in the movie theater. I remember the second time I saw it, and I remember all of my understanding of Star Wars before I saw it and knew what it was. Like I
Wow.
got the
Yeah.
Wonder Bread had cards. It would come with like some Star Wars
Oh
cards.
yeah.
And I still have them. There's like
Yeah.
5 of them or something. And like there was like a Star Destroyer, and there was Princess Leia, and there was this guy named Luke Skywalker. And I remember I was sitting in my family room in Potomac, Maryland, and I'm like, Skywalker, so he can like float, I guess, or fly, I guess. Okay, that'll be neat.
Wow. From one.
And I also remember I remember like other kids like talking about the movie, and I had only seen the poster with Luke with like his white thing on, so I thought the movie was about karate. Or something. I thought he was like a karate guy.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was 4. And this is actually, I think, one of my very first memories is seeing the movie.
Oh, nice.
And,
Wow.
we went to the grand old Capri Theater in Phoenix, where I lived as a kid, and I remember it was packed, and they had a giant chandelier. And when Luke and Leia swing over the chasm on the whatever grappling hook cable,
Yeah.
like the entire theater just erupted, and everyone stood up and started shouting.
Oh, wow.
That's incredible. Remember when that used to happen?
Yeah,
People
Yeah.
cared about stuff.
Yeah.
it was
And
like
yeah.
well, it's like you're in like I don't know, it was like a live performance or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
And I remember at
almost
the end
like
of
a
that, when I
holdover.
saw it the first time, like the whole theater stood up and applauded, like it was an ovation, like a standing ovation.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing the movie the first time, but I remember thinking about it in the car on the way home, like looking out into the dark and trying to, I could never tell what people were saying when they said Darth Vader. So like I was trying to like think of what his name was, like Dark
Yeah,
Vader,
Yeah.
Dark Nader, I don't, and yeah. And then I remember the second time I saw it, and then I remember everything else.
You remember a line like getting into the theater?
No, I don't remember any of that. I remember that for The
Oh,
Empire
okay.
Strikes Back because I was a little older.
Uh-huh.
I have the feeling that I saw Star Wars like after it had been out for a long time, like
Mm.
maybe months and months and
I
months.
must have
Like it
too.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my grandfather being like, just reading the paper, everybody's like kind of quietly doing stuff together, and he's like, maybe we should see that Star Wars movie everybody's been talking about. Like, all right, Star Wars, Schmar Wars. Okay.
I remember, like, for me, it's a tapestry. I don't remember like any, like the first time I saw it, or the Wonder Bread. I remember the Wonder Bread cards, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like that. I don't know if that was chronologically before I saw the movie or anything like that. It's almost just like it's almost sounds like when we were. I was watching some of Star Wars, last night, getting ready for this, and it was like the sounds that I would hear are what felt so familiar to being 5. I think I had just turned 5. And I remember this. I know that, the movie kept being re-released, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it was also just out for like 2 years.
Yeah, it was out for like,
Yeah,
and then like
original
when The
release.
Empire Strikes Back was about to come out, I think they re-released it.
Yeah.
And I stopped counting at, somewhere around 53 times in the theater. That's not an exaggeration. My mom would drop, my sisters and me off at the movie theater, and it was a sort of like, what we would do. Like instead of
Right.
like you might go to the pool in the summer or something like that,
Uh-huh.
she would just drop us off at the movie theater and come back in 2 or 3 hours or whatever. And I just counted, and at one point it was over 50.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's how great it was. I mean,
Yeah.
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 you're
There's
6.
nothing else like it.
Yeah, you're 5.
Yeah.
You're 8. You're
Yeah.
7. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's like going to an amusement park every day.
Yeah. Yeah, and when I think about I think about everything that I was into before Star Wars, and it's weird. It's like I remember like the birthday before I saw Star Wars, I was like, gosh, do I ask for the Lone Ranger's horse for my birthday, or do I ask for like Maskatron from the $6 Million Man? I did finally choose Maskatron, of course, because
Yeah.
that thing's awesome.
Well,
It's one of the
yeah,
best toys
yeah.
I ever had. But, yeah. But that was like what you did before Star Wars. There was like there were other options. It didn't just take
Yeah.
over your whole life and
Yeah.
knock out every other possible entertainment option.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird to think that I don't because since it's my earliest memory, I don't really remember much before it, but it's hard to imagine a world before it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we should say, like, as we're going to start talking about this movie, we're watching the original cut of the movie. We're not watching the special editions or anything. They've never, I don't even know what the issue is. They, in like, 2000 or something, 2002 or something, they released the whole, like, the trilogy on DVD. And with each one came these, the original versions. But I guess they're not like, I don't know, properly formatted for the video file units of the thing and stuff. But I mean, they're Star Wars. They're awesome. They're perfect. They look exactly like Star Wars. There's no episode 4 at the beginning. There's no A New Hope. Greedo doesn't shoot. None of that business. It's just straight up Star Wars. And so, I mean, I've seen these movies so many times, like in all their different forms and everything. But sitting down watching, knowing you're watching the original version, it actually feels a lot different.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I and whatever the quote shortcomings may be, like the lasers look weird or the sounds are, I don't know, more
You
muffled.
take that back, Jerry.
Yeah, really. What's the matter with you, Jerry?
Well, I don't know. I was watching the original one last night and I thought, what were some of the things that they adjusted or updated or, and it may have been like the sounds or whatever it was, and it just, I didn't care at all. I just much prefer to watch this 1977 version. And what it doesn't need. It doesn't. I don't know. First
That's
of all,
what we all fell in love with. That's a version
Yeah.
that we all have been reacting to for decades.
I feel like even right at the beginning that the drums are different. Like I feel like
oh
just
yeah,
like the rumbling, it's like an approaching storm. It's like thunder. Like
Yeah, or like
something
an approaching
Shakespearean.
army over
Yeah,
the hill
it's
or
amazing.
something.
it's
I don't remember that.
warm. It sounds warm. Yeah, I always thought that 20th Century Fox or whatever it is that I always thought that was Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was part of Star
Yeah.
Wars. I don't think
I think a lot of people did.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I didn't notice that was a production of this studio that
yeah.
is putting forth this Star Wars stuff.
Right.
And I was wondering, like watching it this time, I wonder if that's where I got my love of Art Deco, like that gorgeous Art Deco
Oh yeah.
little logo they've got.
Yeah.
And then when you go right into the plain green font of the Lucasfilm Limited production,
yeah.
and I love that because seeing that and not seeing the the new Lucasfilm logo, it looks like a 1970s movie
Yeah.
with all the glories that entails and some of
Yeah.
the pitfalls, I think. But it feels like a real 1970s movie.
Well,
It's like
and
they just
what-
remembered at the last minute that they needed to put the name of the production company
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
And this is a very plain
Helvetica.
green font.
Yeah.
I was going to ask what. It's really incredible. What color is that? Like, if you had to name that color,
You know what? But my wife is a color nerd, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, no, put it on the green wall." She's like, "It's gray." I'm like, "Oh my god, I think that's green." But like, I'm gonna call this green. This type is like a yellowy green, a lilac green, something. I don't know.
Pete, you might get this. It to me, it looks a lot like avocado salsa.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, it's maybe got a little bit of sour cream in
Well,
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little.
That's a good call.
Should be noted that Jerry's eating dinner while we're recording this.
Well, and then we have the next, iconic line, right? And that's
Mhm.
in blue. What blue
Yeah.
is that?
That's a really like deep blue. It's like
I would almost
Yeah.
just call that Star Wars blue.
yeah, space blue.
I don't
Yeah.
know if there's, if I see that and that's one color,
hmm
Is it like cerulean blue? I don't know what Subaru.
That's
maybe.
close. It's close. Yeah, that's actually
Where's my
pretty
box
close.
of crayons?
It's a beautiful color though.
It
It
is.
is.
What do you guys make of a long time ago? Like that has never really sunk in even to this day. Like
No. Far
Yeah.
is that
like,
necessary? Does it mean anything, or is it just to make it like a fairy tale?
It's a weird, it's cool. It's a cool framing thing. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, nothing has happened yet. We haven't even gotten the title of the movie yet. Oh, but this happened. This happened a long time ago. Like, or you walk into the theater like, I'm going to see a space movie, an outer space, futuristic, crazy thing. Like, oh, wait, it was a long time ago. And it happened way far away from here. So
Yeah.
it kind of doesn't matter when or how it happened, but it happened. We're going to see what happened. That's just
Yeah.
kind of cool. It's just placing it in
Oh, I
some
love it,
context,
yeah.
but the context is kind of meaningless.
And I feel like
You know?
even reviews at the time all called it a futuristic movie, like
Mhm.
set in the future kind of thing. Like it just
Yeah.
it's interesting because this often gets kind of glossed over. But does this also mean that all the like J.J. Abrams stuff is also in the distant past? I guess so.
Oh, like the new movies?
Yeah.
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
see that always. I don't know how important that is to the story. It was a long time ago. I don't know if that might make me sad because you
Yeah.
want that
None
time
of this
to
stuff
be.
matters anymore.
Yeah.
They're all dead and buried.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You
want
wanted
it
to
to
be
be
We
alive.
can't get to them
now.
anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like Han Solo is like he's already dead. They're
Yeah.
very much alive in your own life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what's
that's a very good
interesting,
point.
it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Why the two fars?
Right.
Yeah, like you can't get there from here.
Well, or it gives it more of a fairy tale vibe.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, it's almost like the two fars kind of make it. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of a little almost
Yeah.
like you just open the first page of a book,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
you know. And I
it is
did
like it
notice-
is so like Joseph Campbell, like hero of a thousand
yeah.
faces. Like it's so mythic. Everything in this is so mythic.
Now I noticed there are 4 dots after that, the ellipses.
Yeah.
Now, Tommy, can we get a ruling?
Ah, damn it! I knew it. That does in my limited knowledge of this, that seems actually wrong to me. To my knowledge, you get 3 dots and then a period to suggest that the sentence was going to end.
So is
And
that
I don't think that this is a sentence that was going to end. I think this is just sort of like a sentence fragment that works as an introduction of something. I kind of feel like there should only be 3 dots there. It could, but I also don't know if it trails off on purpose. It's not like you're taking a quote from something and showing that it's not a complete sentence that the politician said or something.
I'm looking this up right now.
Yeah.
4 dots does not mean 4 dots in the ellipses. It means it's really comprised of a period and an ellipsis.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like the sentence ends and then ...
Right.
Oh, this is a good call, Tom.
Thank you.
Wow, but you know
This
what I don't
movie's
understand?
garbage.
Don't all sentences end?
No, not
I
if
mean-
you can interrupt it in the middle and
Well,
it's not a complete sentence.
Yeah, I suppose. Sure.
Well, see, that's what I mean. Like, if Darth Vader says, "A presence I've not felt since," and he trails off, I think you would have
Mhm.
3 dots because he didn't finish the sentence, and
But
it's
this
not going to
sentence isn't
finish.
finished either. There's no verb.
Right. I think this should just be.
It should be 3 dots.
I think it should be 3 dots.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Stupid Star Wars.
Well, it's not a complete sentence. You'd have to fix one or the other. You even have to make
Yeah.
it
Right.
a complete
It shouldn't have a period
sentence.
for any reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve a period. It hasn't earned that period. Ain't got no verb.
I told you guys, listen. I told you guys I didn't want to do this. I
did,
said
over
that
and over.
A few things are sacrosanct, and one of them is the unadulterated 1977 I'm 5 years old Star Wars.
And its use of ellipses.
Yes. This
Did you jump in your seat when it said Star Wars the first time? It's like
Yeah.
all very, very quiet in the theater. and then
You know what?
you're-
I'll say this. So, Father David just asked us, what does it mean to be human? And I would say that the answer to being human is that pause right after a long
Mhm.
time ago in Galaxy Far Far Away, and the moment that, right before the Star Wars appears and jumps out,
Mhm.
there is a pause, and
Mhm.
I've never timed it, and I don't want to know. There
Right.
is more
Yeah.
meaning in
Mhm.
that space than that silent moment encapsulates more, like there's more meaning in there. That, as far as I'm concerned, that is the cosmos.
Yeah.
That might be the
That's
most
the one
beautiful
hand
thing
clapping.
you've ever said, Jerry.
Aw.
That was spectacular.
That's the way it felt. And
That was
it
poetry.
never goes away. Even if you
Yeah.
know what's coming, even if you're seeing it
Mhm.
for the 54th time in the theater,
Yeah.
that fades.
Even if
and
you're seeing Rise of Skywalker, oh, never mind.
it fit. No, it's true. Even on when they do of the new ones, it does. They give you that moment, and that moment
Mhm.
is really a place where you are sitting with yourself. In a way, you're connected with everybody else who by themselves is aware of that moment and how powerful it is.
Right.
And it hasn't begun yet. The journey hasn't begun. Everything is possible, and you're
Mhm.
just sitting there.
Yeah.
It is that's
I
one of the most powerful things I think I've experienced.
I
Yeah.
agree, but I think I love it as much as you do, and I think everything you said is 100% correct. But I feel like they should have stopped with this movie or with Empire. Like I feel like doing that with every movie is just going back to the well too many times, and it loses its meaning and its power.
It does. Now it sounds like nerds screaming in
Yeah.
anticipation
Yeah.
in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fun in its own way, but yeah, it's I had a friend who wrote a movie in which there was going to be like a drug that made you forget like everything, like forget everything you knew or something.
Hmm.
It was going to give you amnesia, and you'd only take it with your friends, so you wouldn't do anything stupid and stuff. But you could like, I would love to take that and just be able to see Star Wars for the very first time.
Oh yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Like not even go back in time or anything, just see it for the first time in a theater. And because yeah, that first blast of Star Wars right in your face, you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, what's happening? Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Yeah.
I'm in space and there's Star Wars.
You
And
know
I
what?
like if you look at the script, it says war drums echo through the heavens as the roll up slowly crawls into infinity. And that's amazing. Like that's
Not kidding
incredible.
around.
Yeah.
You know what? I will, take those other movies to task, all up and down and give them a drubbing right
Mhm.
on the fanny, just over and over. But I like the pause in every one of them. I do.
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's it's an acknowledgement, and there's always a sense of excitement. There always is. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, maybe you didn't like the movie or whatever, but there is that moment that it still is an acknowledgement. And I was going to ask
Right.
you guys, do you think that is throughout all the movies, is that intro, as faithful as they are to it, is there anything else that they have kept like that? Maybe the end credits are always in that
Yeah.
Star Wars cerulean
Yeah.
blue. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
credits are in the same blue, which is
Yeah.
rad. And the kind of
Mhm.
the way that they show the credits and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But is there anything else at all that is that faithfully reproduced to the original?
I would say the
crawl,
wipes, the
the wipes.
transitions.
Yeah.
Oh, and the crawl, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's kind of like having a McDonald's franchise. Like you got to have the branding.
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me, I'm not as crazy about that as you, Jared. Like I love it in the original, and I love it maybe in Empire, but I just feel like at some point it's just like, okay, we have to brand this as this other thing so that people know it's the same.
Right. I think that's why a lot of people like Rogue One so much. Is
Yeah.
Because it was the first one that could kind of loosen
Yeah.
up with some of this stuff and not have a crawl and not start with in exactly the
Yeah.
same way. And I don't even know if it had wipes or whatever, but it could do its own thing a little bit and relax a little, flex its creativity muscles a little bit. We should say, as we're doing, it's inevitable that we're going to bring up prequels and sequels and other versions and stuff like this. But really, on the joy that I'm getting from just watching this movie is part of it is like, gosh, this was just a movie.
Right.
For like 3 years after it came out, this was just a movie.
Right.
It was just a Star Wars movie that came out, and it was Star Wars and it was incredible. And there didn't
Yeah.
have to be anything else. You were
Right.
super excited when you found out there's going to be like a Star Wars 2.
Right.
Everybody except for Alec Guinness was coming back because he died. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is just a movie from 1977.
And I'm 100% with you on that. But my one reference I thought about making to another movie, another Star Wars movie, was that this crawl perfectly summarizes Rogue One, which is kind of amazing.
Oh, that's that's true.
Like, it's
Yeah,
weird.
I was actually thinking about that a little bit. Yeah. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base have won their first victory against the evil Galactic Empire. And during that battle, Rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star, an armored space station with enough power to destroy an entire planet. And then it turns out that Princess Leia, who we saw at the end of Rogue One, she has these plans
Yeah.
now, and she's racing home aboard her starship, custodian of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy. And I don't know why there are ellipses there either. That's just a solid end of a sentence.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
I got a question about an earlier part.
Yeah.
This never caught on with me. Like, this is another thing that never really entered my consciousness, but I never really quite got Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base have won their first victory. Like, did you guys think about that?
No, I didn't read any of this nonsense until
Right.
I was like 33.
Even the idea of like like there was
Yeah.
definitely a point in like maybe college where I was like, oh, I've been thinking about this movie as a 6-year-old for a
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
time now.
Yeah.
And then there's actually a civil war going on. There's
Yeah.
like this power that's in power now, but
Right.
not everyone is into it, and people are fighting against it. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. All right.
Yeah, I
There's a
remember,
Senate,
like,
but that's falling apart. Okay.
I remember, like, asking my sister, "What's a custodian?"
Is that
You know?
like a janitor?
Yeah, I don't. What do they mean? The rebellion? Just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I have to say,
So-
though, sinister agents is one of the best descriptive words.
It is.
Like, it's
It's really
amazing.
good.
It's
I
like
know-
a
Are there
I
any
World
didn't-
War
bands
II
called Sinister
spy and
Agents?
or what?
Are there any bands called Sinister Agents?
There should
must
be.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to any of this stuff, and I still
Mhm.
have to think about it hard. And even last night when I was reading this, it just then dawned. I went, wait a minute, they stole the plans from like their first victory. What are they talking about? And then I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, is that Rogue One? Is it? It is, right?
It is. Yeah.
It is,
That's what it's
yeah.
supposed to be. And I was kind of like, huh. And then I started eating my tail.
See, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun to think like, okay, they did a good job, like staying true to that opening crawl and that
Yeah.
Mhm.
entire movie that they made. But I do like watch. I'm not saying we shouldn't talk about the other movies or anything. But there's
Right.
so much of my Star Wars life is fighting against all the new stuff
Right, I
encroaching on my
agree.
beloved Star Wars.
I agree.
So I do just enjoy being able to. Okay, there's Ben Kenobi meeting R2D2 for the first time
Yeah.
ever.
I agree.
No A, B, C, or D. He's just an old man meeting a droid in the desert. And he doesn't know
Right.
what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just it's just fun thinking about this stuff as you thought about it when you were 6 or 4 or whatever.
Is there a difference between and I'm by the way, I'm not going to do any Wikipedia or anything during any of this. So some of these questions
cool.
I'm asking may have answers, the quote unquote answers, but I'm just curious, like based on only watching the movie itself,
Mhm.
which is as it should be done. But
See,
is
You're
there
a
a difference
purist.
between a spaceship and a starship?
Oh, Pete, I have that exact same question down.
Like,
And
is one a local and one's a interstellar or what?
Well, see,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
well, I mean, it Princess Leia's starship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like if you're balling, you have a starship.
Yeah.
That's it. Like if you're just like meh, if you're like,
Yeah.
maybe if you're there's nothing wrong with it. But maybe if you're delivering pizzas, you take a spaceship.
Yeah. You gotta
Yeah.
go fix a
Right.
satellite or something.
Yeah, I
I
deliver.
think the Millennium
pizzas,
Falcon is a spaceship. The Millennium Falcon
Oh,
is
really?
a spaceship, and I was going to say an X-wing is a spaceship. I don't think an X-wing is a spaceship.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like a spaceship is something that could land on your planet and you go like, "Whoa, there's an alien spaceship landing on my planet."
What's
But then a starship is like the Enterprise is a starship. I think a starship is like, I don't know, bigger, has more people on it. It's meant to travel long distances. I don't know.
See, I was kind of thinking spaceship is like local, like just your solar system, whereas a starship is
Yeah.
like you can jump to light speed and you can go far.
Okay, see, but
Right.
now I have a question. So,
Mhm.
but there's many times where we see X-wing fighters or those types of
Yeah.
like, smaller ships that actually go to hyperspace,
Yeah.
don't they?
So it seems like that would be a
Yeah.
starship.
I don't know what the limit is on like anybody's range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Seems
And
like
then
anybody
remember,
can go
but
anywhere.
in this movie, Star Wars, there is a line. I'm going to misquote it, but it's we're way too deep into space for a ship that small to get lost out here.
Yeah.
It's a TIE
Yeah.
fighter, and so you're like,
Right.
well,
Yeah.
wait a minute. So exactly, is that a spaceship, not a starship, or like, can that not make the jump to hyperspace? You see a lot of small ships in these later movies
Yeah.
make the jump to hyperspace.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I agree, though. I think it's like the small ships that can't.
Yeah.
But she's, I
Maybe they
mean,
just
so
wanted some
this is this her starship?
It
Because
says
if
it's her
it is, it sucks.
starship.
Why?
Well, I mean, this, you
I
mean the
think it's
little
cool.
little rebel ship? What's the name of it? I'm sure it has a
The
name.
blockade runner.
The
Yeah.
sure.
Or the Tantive 4 if you listen to the radio drama.
Right there.
Yeah.
Now that's not a starship. The blockade runner.
I feel like it is. I don't know. It's got, for some reason, I want to say like the more people you can fit on it, the more it's a starship or something. It's
Well,
like
in
a lot
Dark-
of people going someplace across a long distance or something.
Darth Vader uses a very interesting word later that might make it a starship. That's not in the original script, but he says passengers.
Oh,
Oh.
So maybe a starship would have to like is something you use to carry passengers.
oh, maybe. Also, starship sounds a little cooler than spaceship.
It does.
Or maybe it was like
lasers
a
were
repetition
1950s.
thing. Like we already said
Yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
They got out like a thesaurus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
Can I just
5
say-
lines above. I can't just use it again.
Speaking of like sounding the same, when I was a kid, like I remember sometime after I first saw this movie, sitting down at our little table in the kitchen, and I wrote out the entire score to Star Wars, like this entire opening.
Oh,
music.
wow.
Really?
And it took like 5 pages, and I wrote like da 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 da, and it was just like da 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 da, da for like 5 pages.
I was picturing like
I remember I
bars, like
showed-
staffs and everything.
Yeah, and I showed my dad, and he was like, "What's this?" And I was so heartbroken that he didn't
Aw.
recognize it.
Did I
What do you
spell it
mean, what's
wrong?
this? It's how you can't read music.
Yeah, you uncultured slob.
You know, I had a question. So, does the Empire have a PR department? Because they created this thing called the Death Star.
Yeah.
And
They
I'm
did.
just, yeah, I'm thinking
How'd they
about
think
that.
that was
Yeah.
going to go?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why? I mean, that's
There's no reason to
what
fear
was-
the Death Star.
Yeah. What are you guys
Everything's under
working on?
control.
We have like a 5-year contract to build this Death Star.
Yeah.
Huh.
The pacification plan.
Really? Yeah.
But but does like because we're going to learn later that Leia's part of the Imperial Senate. So did she vote? Did she have a vote on the Death Star? Like, was there a voting block? Like, 53% voted yes and 47% voted no.
By the way, I have absolutely no idea how any of that works at all. I never did figure it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty
There's,
fuzzy,
there's like a
even if you're paying
Senate, and she's
attention.
on it, and she's a princess, but she's part of the
Yeah.
rebellion. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
she's
yeah.
like-
But, so what do you
she's,
mean? Like, so did they adjourn? Like, what do you mean? There's a
I don't-
Senate?
they might have just not been in session.
Yeah,
But she's
like,
like on
She
the.
can be like a fact-finding mission
yeah, maybe.
or a
Yeah,
diplomatic mission.
Right.
Well, so if she's on a diplomatic mission, it's like, where is the ambassador? You're like, well, what was she going to? What is she?
Right.
What is she?
Yeah.
What's the lie that she's going to?
Yeah, they don't really say.
It sounds pretty flimsy. Like he just came up with it on the spot
Yeah.
because he's getting choked to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a good question.
It's interesting though, because when I see this crawl, I want to learn all about the politics behind this because it sounds fascinating. And then when we watch later movies and we learn all about the politics of it, I'm like, I don't
Oh,
want to know
boy.
anything about the like.
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of those instances where the more you imagine, the better it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think there's
totally.
a lot that Star Wars really nails. 1977 Star Wars really nails that the later movies don't because they force you to imagine it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And most of those things that you're forced to imagine are things that they just totally scrub from your imagination later over the years by
Yeah.
filling them in for you.
Yeah,
Here's exactly what you were imagining.
yeah.
It's not as cool, is it?
You're like, that sucks. My
It's
imagination really
exactly
sucked.
what you're imagining. Yeah, not try and go to sleep.
Yeah. Sorry,
No,
kid.
you know, what I always loved is that the wait, what do you guys call it? The scrawl?
The crawl.
The crawl. I was like, the
I like the
scroll.
scrawl.
I like
Scroll,
it's like
yeah.
a scroll.
A
It's
chicken
kind. I mean, it
scratch.
is. It's like a space
Yeah.
scroll.
It is. It is like a scroll.
Yeah.
So, but I always wondered. So, is that? I love that it's a fixture in space. It's like the Crab Nebula
Right.
or something.
Right.
Like how big is it? Is it 2 light years across?
Yeah. Like if the Star Destroyer flew by this, would it
Yeah.
be?
Would it
much
be
bigger
like
crash
the
or-
period? Or would you not even
Yeah.
be able to see it? Or would it take up
Yeah.
a paragraph?
You know what? What always disappointed me as a kid is I always thought that it made a shape, and I just couldn't recognize the shape. Like when the words are going
Oh,
up,
weird.
and I always thought, oh, I bet if I look the right way, there's a shape in all those words, and I could never find it.
Oh, weird. That's like
'Cause it-
kid
it
thinking.
looks
That's
kinda like a
amazing.
pattern. Yeah.
That sounds like something I would try to figure out. That's funny.
Well, it just goes. I'm sorry. I just love that it's just out there.
Yeah.
And like
yeah,
like
floating
if
through
you
space.
encounter it as you're on a starship and you encounter it and like you could stop and be like, hold up, I'm not done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speed up. We got to catch
Yeah,
up. with
or
paragraph
how
3.
fast is it going? I mean, you can't. It's all relative, right? So out there,
Yeah.
you don't know. I mean, what's the speed that it's going through space?
These are all good questions.
Yeah.
Apparently, George Lucas famously showed like a rough draft of the movie to a bunch of his buddies like Spielberg and Brian De Palma and stuff. And I guess Brian De Palma just like railed on it. He's like, "This, you're failing hugely. This is such garbage. This is so stupid. That opening crawl doesn't make any sense." And they went out to dinner, and everybody's ripping on him. And apparently, Brian De Palma helped like rewrite this crawl.
Oh,
Like that was the first thing he did. Is like, no, forget all that force of others garbage. You got the Death Star, Princess. Keep it simple.
Mhm. Hmm.
Yeah,
I kind of like the force of other stuff. I like the really Eastern mysticism that's in this movie that I think
Yeah,
disappears a
but
lot later.
I do think that they it's smart to keep it as totally simple as they do
No,
in
I
this
agree.
movie. Just
I
like
agree.
the Force,
I agree.
like
oh,
you know,
yeah,
and if you had introduced that in the crawl, you might be like, what? Wait
Yeah,
a minute,
I agree.
Yeah.
you lost me.
yeah. This, this movie is so raw and just
Yeah.
dirty and
Yeah.
sparse.
Scruffy.
Yeah, and in a great way. It's not like, and I feel like the less that's in it, for whatever reason of why it's less, like some people might be like, oh, they didn't have the time, or I don't know, George Lucas was sick, or Alec Guinness
Mhm.
refused to show up that day. Whatever the reasons are why it is the way it is. Some people might say that the dialogue is clunky or that kind of. You're like, no, it just is. It just
Right.
Mhm.
is. It's actually
However it happened, that's how it happened.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the
That's what we
less
have
is
now.
great.
Yeah.
However, I don't even care how it became that way, if it was on purpose or because of some limitation of production
Yeah.
or whatever. You're like, no,
Yeah.
it just is correct.
Yeah.
That's kind of the
Yeah.
beauty of when you come across these things. They transcend, the I don't know, it transcends the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
God, Jerry,
Yeah.
you're like a poet philosopher tonight. I'm loving this.
Well, it's like George
Kind
Lucas
Pete.
didn't learn like the main lesson of Star Wars, which is that limitations are your friend. That's what art comes out of.
Yeah.
If you can't get exactly what you want, you got to figure out a way to get kind of what you want. And that's what you end up with. And that's what people see in the theater and think is amazing.
And so,
I also feel like Star Wars had a real hero's journey, and I
Yeah.
feel like nothing that came after that really did, like a clear one, a clean one.
no, it's true.
Mhm.
It's true. And
Yeah.
although, that it's a tale as old as time and all that, there's a reason. It's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
he-
mean,
and
a lot of
everyone can
songs
identify
are in
with it.
4/4. Yeah. A lot of great songs are in 4/4. The snare
Yeah.
is on 2 and the snare is on 4. Hey, like
Right.
that's still a great song. Do it again.
And then we get the most famous opening shot in movie history, probably. And
Can
it
I
should
say
be.
there's not much about this movie that bothers me. this is one of the first things, and this has bothered me forever.
Wow.
Is that the Star Destroyer feels like it's on a lower plane than the blockade runner. So it feels like the lasers should be way off target.
I kind of know what you mean. Yeah, you see all these green lasers shooting from the bottom. You're like, guys, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to shoot yourself.
You're
You're
shooting
shoot through your own ship to get to the
You're
blockade
shooting
runner.
like 80 feet below the blockade runner. It's interesting though, because I also always think of like red lightsaber bad, green lightsaber good. And it's interesting that the blockade runner is firing red lasers and the Star Destroyer is firing green lasers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I think
incredible.
the TIE fighters shoot green too, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see. That's one thing I never really paid attention to.
The shot of like just you're hovering above the planet. And there's two
And the
other
music.
planets. Yeah. What's so incredible is like throughout there's music. Like the music is a character in the movie.
And isn't the music here? I think a lot of the music from this movie. I'm not a student of music, but I've heard people accuse him of just taking whole cloth, like just giant sections of the planets.
Yeah,
by whoever
Holst.
that was.
By Holst.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I mean, go listen to the planets.
I've heard some comparisons. And it's like, right. Oh, okay. It's the planets.
Yeah,
but there are passages from that I've heard like, oh my God, that is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr.
Listen to like Mars Bringer of War. Was like one of my all-time favorite songs. And the version, I think it's the Montreal Symphony does a version that's unbelievable. Gustav Holst. And he does. You listen to that and you go, oh, that's where he got.
Yeah.
What's amazing is if you listen to the planets, you're like, this is 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, some dude wrote this 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But
did they even have planets back then?
yeah, exactly. Well, they didn't do Pluto. I mean, it hadn't been
Poor
discovered.
Pluto.
Yeah. So,
Well, how much of this movie being incredible is serendipity that he happened to have John Williams and Ben Burt and these guys were all so many of these people went on to become just absolute tops in the field.
yeah,
Right.
It's kind of an amazing confluence of
But
events and people.
That's the beauty of it, though. That's why whatever shortcomings there may be or whatever limitation, all that, you go, I mean, this is one of those things that sometimes you just, you try really hard and sometimes you shut your eyes and you swing and they're like, why is everybody cheering? The ball went out of the park. And you're like, how? I mean, I swung. I showed up and I swung, but I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was all just right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those, it's serendipity.
It was like, it was kind of like Raiders.
Yeah. I mean, that could have gone a bunch of wrong ways easily, as we discussed. But I think it's also like, if you walk into this theater in 1977 and you're like, I want to see a space movie.
Yeah.
And in your head, you probably have like, the best examples are like Planet of the Apes or like, kind of dopey Logan's Run or something.
Or 2001.
Yeah, or 2001 or Silent Running or something. And you're like, okay, I know what I'm in for. It's the 70s. And I'm going to see a science fiction movie with spaceships and things and laser guns and everything. Then you see this opening shot. Exactly. You got this like orchestral bombast and these amazing ships flying overhead. And you're like, wait, this is not what I was. Oh my God, this is all right. Okay. I wasn't expecting this.
Well, so does
Thank you.
anything like this opening shot with the planets and hovering over the, it's like the stratosphere of Tatooine or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, does anything else look like this before this?
Not really. I mean, maybe like the kind of greebly kind of like gray metally underbelly of the Star Destroyer. Like if you saw the movie Silent Running, which came out I forget when, like a few years before this, it has like ships kind of like that. It's got that's a 70s looking thing. And it's cool, but it's beside that, I don't think like the way the ships move and like the way they're in the shot together and everything.
But then you see, I think the beauty of this, so that also it feels a lot like the really clean, elegant lines of 2001.
Yeah,
some of the space shots and the inside of like especially the blockade runner. But the beauty then is that they take that and they make it smudged and dirty and messy and lived in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know everyone says that, but I mean that is really, I think, what
Oh,
makes Star Wars
totally.
amazing.
It really is. I mean, like you first see like these two robots on the spaceship, and they're grubby. They're like one's got
Yeah.
a leg that doesn't match, and the other guy's got a dent and like fingerprints all
Yeah,
over
he's
him and
got that
stuff.
big greasy handprint where Jer set his
Right.
pizza down.
Exactly. Yeah.
By the way, I
Um,
just noticed that C-3PO has a leg that doesn't match.
Right.
Yeah.
What the hell is that about?
We don't know,
Well, yeah, that's
Jerry,
the
and we
beauty.
never
That's
will
the-
because
yeah.
there's not a comic book that explains it, and he doesn't draw attention to it in the scene,
Yeah.
etc.
So
You
does
might not
his,
recognize me
for the
because of my
rest of the
silver
movie,
leg.
does his leg
Ugh.
not match?
I think not. I think
Yeah.
I think he.
It doesn't match an Empire either, does it?
Don't remember.
remember,
I'm a bad
actually.
Star Wars fan.
Well, so and behind C-3PO is another
Yeah, the silver
C-3PO that looks.
C-3PO.
Yeah, and what's interesting is I wanted to know. So if you get a C-3PO delivered from the factory,
Mhm.
what color is he? Like, does C-3PO
Or she.
does C-3PO have like a patina?
Oh, see, I thought it was like you choose different
Can you
add-ons.
choose
Like, oh, I
different?
want
the
You're like,
brass
I
one,
want the
copper,
silver
I want
one.
the-
Yeah, I want the or
Yeah.
like this. Does this C-3PO
Yeah.
just have like kind of a, like everybody's so grubby? He's just kind of got this nice warm golden patina, or
Yeah.
like, and
No, I
it's just
think
kind of
he's-
smooth.
He's an actual color. I think he's because you do later, like in other movies, you see white ones and red ones and blue ones,
Yeah.
and
Okay,
silver ones, and
so is he
but
brass?
it's weird. Like the guy behind him is like
Or
just sort
I
of like
don't know.
off. He's like
Gold?
he's not quite as gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's just exactly. He's not, and he looks totally lost.
Can I just say that this conversation is difficult for me because I didn't think of this watching this, but like talking about where C-3PO came from, it's so hard for me not to think of how the prequels ruined a lot of what I loved
But
about this
see,
movie.
That's what I'm getting from watching this. I'm looking at a
No,
picture
I
of
am
him right
too. I
now,
am
and that
too.
didn't enter my mind at all.
No,
what you're
I
saying.
didn't
Yeah.
mind either.
Yeah.
But when we start talking about it, and it's to me, that's one of the things I dislike about new Star Wars is that
Yeah,
it changes the way I think about the original, and I don't like that.
right.
You know,
or it's an opportunity for you to strengthen your mental prowess and just
That's
block
true,
that
it's
stuff
good.
as hard as you can.
I have to
That's
say,
exhausting.
and Tommy, you remember this, in 1999, I saw the first prequel on my birthday at 10 a.m. And I came out and I was really just kind of shell shocked. I didn't know what would
Yeah.
happen. I called my good friend Tom Taylor, and we were confused. I think we were kind of confused together. And then I think I saw it one or two more times, and it left a really weird, bad taste in my mouth. And then honestly, all of those prequels I saw like the day they came out, and I swear to God, I could not tell you a single thing about them. I don't remember
Yeah.
anything about them. I don't know what I was able to. It was like a self-protective amnesia.
I feel like Father David
Right.
would say that you were blessed, Jerry.
Yes,
I think that is a wonderful thing to have had happen.
Because
and that you're human.
I'm with you here, Tom. Like, I'm thinking about C-3PO, and Pete, you said, yeah, but it sucks now that I know how it's, and I'm like, dude, I don't even remember.
No, I'm not
Was
saying
it
now
like
that I know
Anakin
how.
made him or
It's-
something? I don't know.
No, I'm not
whatever
saying
it is,
I
I don't
buy that,
remember.
but it's
Yeah,
yeah,
But
it's
you-
just it's
it's in
hard for
your-
me to get that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like someone spit in my pie, and it's it's like
It's
ooh,
ridiculous.
I can't stop
I
thinking
don't
about
believe that.
it.
It's just some nonsense.
I don't believe it
from a
either,
Slumber
but it-
party.
Right. I think 3PO's first line is confusing to me in a few different ways. He says, "Did you hear that? You see the big explosion from outside, and
Yeah.
they cut to the inside. You see these two robots. And did you hear that? They've shut down the main reactor. Will be destroyed for sure."
Mhm.
Which is weird because first of all, he says, "Did you hear that?" So like, what sound is he referring to? Like, what sound did he hear that said to him that they shut down the main reactor?
What? See, I thought it was like a message over the intercom. That
But we didn't hear
didn't-
anything like
yeah,
that.
but that
But
kind
we-
of
we
leads
did
it to
hear
the
the-
imagination.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
Did we
managation.
just
minute.
hear the like the docking bay over us?
I mean, there's that siren going on. That
Wait, I'm just gonna say that right there. That boo.
yeah.
Boo.
Yeah.
It's. By the way, there are two alarms or two sirens.
Mhm.
If you lit like one goes woo 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 woo, it's kind of under
yeah.
the woo.
Yeah.
It's under that one, and they're going on simultaneously. I'm gonna call. I think that is my favorite part of this movie.
Wow,
That
that's
opening
nice.
Wow.
shot
Yeah.
with that alarm going on, because it's at that moment you realize that you're in the movie and there's so much more of this movie that you're going to watch. You're just at the very
Mhm.
beginning, and your mom is not picking you up for like 2.5 or 3 hours. You have the
Yeah.
entire expanse of the movie before you.
Right.
And I think when
That's a
I
nice feeling.
yeah, when I first hear that alarm sound, I think that's when I'm happiest.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You respond positively to mayhem and disaster and danger.
There's nowhere else
that's
you need to
beautiful.
be. There's nowhere else you have to
Yeah,
be.
that's
No
beautiful.
one's going to be asking anything from you. You just
Right.
the movie, but you've already got your ticket. You already used the restroom. You already found your seat. You're all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movie's
God, I
starting.
wish you-
It's working.
You need to write a new scripture
Yeah.
tonight, Jerry. You're on fire. It's just like, want to curl up and listen to this.
It's a great feeling right then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Got nothing to
It's
do but watch
interesting.
Star Wars.
It's interesting. Right before this, I was noticing you can see like a little claw arm underneath in that open docking bay,
Yeah, yeah.
which I had never noticed before.
And it's on a track. You see it in the next shot?
Yeah.
Like it's on a cool, long, curving track. It's like those kind of details.
Yeah.
And even like in that same shot, like where they're the Star Destroyer is overtaking the blockade runner and it's going to go into that, underneath docking bay thing. And a shadow passes over the blockade runner. And you're like, if they didn't put that in there, I don't think anybody would notice or care about it or anything. But the fact that they did,
yeah.
that's when you're like, okay, this isn't Planet of the Apes. This
Yeah.
isn't Logan's Run. This is like, they're taking this seriously and they want this
Yeah.
to be a real world. It's not realistic. Obviously you're in space and it's crazy robots and talking and stuff, but there's like a natural factness to it or something, like this feels like it's happening. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big ship over a little ship. So there's a shadow. That makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
Well, so
Yeah.
my question is, when C-3PO says, did you hear that they shut down the main reactor? Well, but what does he say? Will be destroyed?
Yeah.
It'll be destroyed for sure. Yeah.
Well, but so what does the main reactor do?
Reacts to stuff.
Is it like their power generator?
Yeah. I was assuming
Yeah.
that's how they fly. Yeah.
And then so who's the they?
That's what I mean. That's what's weird. It's like, did you hear that? The fact that he says that they shut down the main reactor. You just saw this big explosion.
Yeah.
And I assume he's referring to the bad guys.
but
No,
it could
it's
just
interesting.
So it's
easily be like the bridge crew.
I thought it was the good guys. Like they've shut down.
But why
the
would
main,
they shut down the main reactor?
Because it's like part of an abandoned ship protocol.
oh maybe.
Or maybe if it's still running, if a blast would blow up the whole ship.
Is it like jettisoning the warp core if it's in breach, so the ship doesn't explode?
That's almost as bad as bringing up the prequels.
Yeah,
What?
I know. It's kind
Back,
Get that green booger out of your nose.
fellas.